What is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and we are live here in the Leo King studios. It is June the 27th of 2017. It's a Tuesday. Tuesday is nothing but a Tuesday is what I like to say. And on this Tuesday, it just is your, kind of basic Tuesday. Now I'm going to talk about how this week in the astrology, yeah, sure, there's some intensities coming this weekend, but it's nothing near anything we've gone through in the last 5 years. I mean, it's just some stuff, okay? There's nothing to be afraid of, and I really want to come with the message this week on my live report and talking about the astrology and looking at things that really, things aren't as bad as they seem. Things aren't as difficult as they are, but we're in Cancer. It's the tides of emotion that we go up and down through when we feel, and there's a lot of weird emotional stuff to go through. And I really want to talk about how Mercury and Mars are really part of this week. And then I also want to talk about this crazy quarter moon that we're going to have, even though, like I said, the craziness factor is nowhere near anything that we've been seeing for months prior. I mean, this is really what I've been calling kind of a chill zone in the zodiac. And that's just my honest truth to you all. Now, if you've never been live on my Facebook with me, you can actually talk with us live here in the chat. So I'm going to join the chat right now here on Facebook so I can see people's comments. We might get to some questions in a little bit. But I advise that everybody gets in here if they want to have their voice heard, because I will be watching the whole time as I'm doing the show live and talking. Now, let's talk about Mercury and Mars. And let's take a look at the astrology so people understand what's going on, okay? Number one, we are having some crazy things happening here behind the studio. You can't see. I spilled some Sprite on the desk, and it was really sticky icky there. Anyway, long story short, let's take a look at this. This week, this is, of course, the chart for right now. I just did this chart literally like minutes ago. And look at Mercury and Mars. They are starting to come into a conjunction in Cancer. This means that they're coming in the same space in the sky. Now, Mars can be positive and negative, like anything in the world. Let's start with the drawback first. Stress. Hard stress. Feeling like you have to do things. Feeling like you're pressured to go to directions. Feeling like you have to do things to get them done, to finish them now. Because Mars is like, go, 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 go. Mercury is, I'm down to go. Let's go. Let's go. I need to keep moving too. So when you get these two together, it's like an overwhelming, intense storm of, I need to get this done. This has to get done fast. And it's happening in Cancer. Guess what? It might be uncomfortable, especially as it's opposing Pluto this week. It's not comfortable. It feels like shit has to get done. Oh my God, I got to do this even though maybe I'm not in my most comfortable position. Or maybe I got a cracked rib. Talking about me, of course. And I still got things to do. It's like, that's the problem with this alignment is how do you, while there is so much pressure to get things done and to keep moving forward in your life, how do you learn to take care of yourself, nurture yourself, relax through a lot of this? A lot of this week is teaching relaxation. A lot of this is teaching to take your time, even though the energy is not. Because whenever you get Mercury on top of Mars, it's kind of like, bam! It's an explosion of energy that's hitting on top of themselves. And it actually, because Mercury, in my opinion, rules stress levels, because it rules your brain and it rules how your brain works. When you have Mars on there, it really is kind of punching the lights out of your nervous system a little bit. Even though Uranus rules more of the nervous system, Mercury is your stress levels of constantly needing to stay on the go and keeping things going. And so this week is about learning to relax through that and realize that Mars is at its fall position. When I that is fall position. Mars is at its weakest spot in Cancer. Okay? It's at one of its strongest in the opposite signs of Capricorn. And this week we're going to have Mars opposed Pluto. Now, this is going to teach us while Mercury's on top of Mars. So as we're trying to stay busy and trying to learn to take care of ourselves, there's a lot that we're trying to also accomplish in our life. And there's the battle of you can still get the shit, pardon my French, that you need done, But you can still take care of yourself and not beat yourself up too much. There's a happy balance that needs to be found here. This is also making sure that you're communicating your emotions in a way that is clear, but whenever you have Mercury on top of Mars, it's also the kind of tyrant energy of somebody who's demanding and I need this done and this needs to be done now and no, this isn't going to happen. And it's kind of this intense aspect that we all ourselves go through, demanding certain things, wants at a very high edge. And so we got to learn, especially with Jupiter in Libra, which is the square point to this, right? Okay. It is the square point about learning to be more not diplomatic only, but learning to be positive, be open, and where can we find some common ground? This is going to be asking not only in your relationships, but in your own life of where do you find that common denominator of balance, of relaxation, and still getting things done at the same time. Because even though you feel like you have to go do these things this week and into this weekend, especially as we're going to advance the chart here in a minute. So it's almost like we feel like we have to do these major things coming into this weekend. Is it really as major as you think it is? We put more pressure on ourselves than really what is going on. And I think that a lot of this is learning to take the energy that's going on in your life and learn to emotionally process it, not demand that it gets done and demand it so much that you are putting yourself in an uncomfortable place, ruining emotional situations with relationships and people and yourself, the relationship you have with yourself by being your own Hitler to yourself. It's like, that guy's already gone and dead. We don't need him to come back, and we don't need to turn into him ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, that's Mercury conjunct Mars, especially in Cancer, while you got Venus in Taurus, which Venus in Taurus wants what it wants, right? And it's coming into the higher degrees of Taurus, and it's coming into the star system of the Palladian star system, all the Pleiades, the seven sisters. So, this is going to activate a lot about learning to use our relationships, our wants, our needs in a much higher vibrational way instead of kind of in a lacking or I need to have this kind of a lower vibrational, more lower chakra Mars, in fall. It's kind of like being a big baby. I've been saying this in a lot of the reports, especially if you watch my dailies, not being a big baby about things in life. I think that that's something that is coming out of this. And this is Tuesday, so this is happening. Of course, Wednesday, Mercury and Mars conjunct. And then, remember, this is all squaring Jupiter. Remaining positive, seeing that there are other doors. If something doesn't go the way that you want to, like, relax. Learn to chill out a little bit. It's not as serious as we might take it. And I think that's part of the lesson of this opposition to Pluto is taking shit serious, right? It's like, okay, it's like, it's serious biz. And Mars is in Cancer going like, I'm trying to take a break. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to make sure that I can win in life by having that make me feel comfortable. And Mercury's there trying to be like, it's like, I'm stressed. There's so many on me. There's so many demands. Gosh. And you're trying to be really serious. How? And Jupiter's stress. It's like trying to keep these two balanced. It's trying to keep these two fair on each other, but it's just having some difficulty there. And I think it's important to not, yes, life is serious. There is some serious shit to get done, but we're taking the most basic stuff way too seriously. We're taking the serious stuff so seriously that we're compromising our own, I don't want to say humanity, but we're compromising our own ability to realize when is it just something that just needs to get done, and is it really as valuable as you think it is? We can attach, especially with Venus and Taurus, values to certain aspects of our life that are higher than others, and we can put those things so high on a pedestal when really, when we complete them, we look back and we go, well, really, it wasn't that serious or wasn't that big of a deal. And I think that this is one of those weeks. This is one of those, and let's just advance the chart for this weekend because this weekend's kind of gnarly. Now, like I said at the very beginning, and if you're just joining us, because it looked like a couple hundred people joined us here at the last second here, I said coming into this that, these times, the energies of this week are not that crazy in comparison to anything that we've gone through over the last 5 years. This is some pretty, minor stuff in comparison, but there is some stress to it all. But, it's not as stressful as it really could be. And this is why. So on Friday, so whatever you're doing Friday, guess what? This is the issue in your life that you need to pay attention to, okay? Friday into Saturday. This is the issue, okay? Wherever you're at, wherever karma has brought you in your life, and it's dealing with this aspect of the pressure you put on yourself to take things so seriously when really maybe it could be a little bit more chilled back. Maybe it doesn't have to be so demanding. Maybe it can be a little bit more easygoing. Maybe it can be learning to take care of yourself better. Like not freaking out, not getting unbalanced either. Staying within balance, not only physically, emotionally, and spiritually, but your health and reality. In all aspects. There's a need to de-stress, and there's a lot based upon relationships, not just because it's in Libra, the moon conjuncting Jupiter in this exact square to the sun that we're going to have on Friday, but it's this huge T-square to Pluto that has been building and that is going to really put a lot of pressure on, we can still get what we need to get done without being a big baby, with still being comfortable, and without losing that part of ourselves that makes us, and I'm going to say it, human. We're not machines. We're not, slaves. We're not slaves. And I think that we can turn ourselves into this position to where we demand on our own selves so much to reach so high, to do all these things, and we don't stay properly balanced in our life to where we become our own slave to our own self, to our own energy, to our own stuff. And it affects our relationships a lot. It affects everything else. I think that this is us loosening the belt on our life. It's kind of like we have our whitey-tighties on too tight about certain things, about how we need to get shit done and how we have to have it done by this weekend for some reason, when really it's like, did you see the timeline beyond this weekend? Or have you just put everything, because you got to remember, like, let's look at the chart one more time. Like, you do have Mercury opposing Pluto and Mars opposing Pluto, and Mercury and Mars are kind of being forced to look only at one scenario, one situation, one road. And Jupiter's trying to say, there's a lot of other roads. There's a lot of other timelines. Relax. That's my Jupiter in Libra voice, which is teaching you to not get so over intense about it all and learning to find that chill ground. Which is, of course, leading us to the following weekend, which is the July 8th and 9th, which will be the full moon, which is going to be the cap of July itself, which I think July, which is coming this week as well, is pretty major, because July is all about the intensity of the fire coming, of Leo that's coming, the solar eclipse that's been building up, that's going to happen in August, the very powerful new moon conjunct Mars, Mars finally leaving Cancer and getting out of all this craziness. There's a lot coming in July, so learning now to not take shit so overwhelming when there's probably a lot on your plate. I mean, how many more things are you going to add on your plate before you fall over and keel over and die? It's like, and putting yourself through so much, learn to take things in stride. And Cancer's all about taking care of yourself. And with Mars there's this inner baby that's demanding all the time that this has to be done to feel comfortable, that this has to be done in your life to make it that way. And it'll probably get done, but did you have balance through it? Did you beat yourself up? Did you beat other people up through it when you don't need to? And so this is my reminder that on Thursday, I'm doing my July 2017 horoscope. It's going to be over an hour long. It's called Explosion, the Catalyst to Manifesting Your Dreams, because literally I believe July is a month to where all the powers align to be the catalyst of manifesting your dreams. And what I mean by catalyst being the spark, being that energy, and July is going to be that month that finally brings that. So we have seats still available, of course. So register now at inclusiveastrology.com. All you got to do is click on monthly or specials, click on July 2017 horoscope, and then you get a PDF with the link to register for that. So I'm going to turn to the chat room real quick. I haven't done that for a couple weeks because I got to go here in a second and go record another video, and then I have to go do something else. So I don't have much time today. So what do people got to say in the chat, if anything? I just wanted to bring out that energy, help people know what was going on this week. Yeah, somebody got it. So everybody's been asking me about the clock. Everybody always thinks like, why is the clock always at this? And I do have it set to 333. Those are my numbers lately. I've been seeing 333 everywhere. I've been having a lot of good luck. I live on the 33 line, being here in Orange County, California. It's the 33rd degree. And, you know, there's a lot of 33. There's a lot of Freemason 33 degrees. People are going to, like, start putting all these things out there that I'm part of the Illuminati or something, and I don't give a crap. But I do pretty well with that 333. I don't know what numbers you throwing down on that crap table of life, but I'm throwing down 333, rolling 333 all day. Somebody brought up a good point. When everyone else is intense, I'll be relaxed with my 12th house moon. 12th is one step ahead. I think what's interesting is when you have this buildup happening with Pluto and, of course, all these 10 squares to the moon and all this aspect happening with Mercury and Mars, which can be, I don't want to say it's intense, but it can be kind of like hard on ourselves and take things way too seriously. It also can drop people to where they just don't want to deal with things in life. It's like, I don't want to do that, even though, because Capricorn's very demanding. Like, you've got to get on this path, and you've got to get this work done, and you got to get this done. Cancer's like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough sleep. I didn't eat this morning, and you're asking me to go into the truck right now at 5 in the morning and get up and do this. I need another hour of sleep. I need a little bit more time. I need to take a shower. I need to wash my hair. There's all these things that are happening in Cancer saying this is what needs to happen. And Libra's trying to keep these two from boxing the next Mayweather match on HBO in Las Vegas. You know, it literally is, okay, let's try and make both sides work. You can still get things done. Take another 20-minute nap and maybe wash your hair after the work. You know, it's like compromise. This Libra moon square is about compromise to still getting things done and still taking the time to get it done. You can't push through things so hard without blowing a gasket, we like to say, in the community of men that work on motors, or losing all of your energy. You've got to have that compromise. And this weekend's all about compromise, about not taking it so serious to where you're compromising your life, your health, and relationships. Because this is also Libra. It does hurt your relationship. And, you know, you can be so demanding and you have to feel life in a certain way. And it has to be this way. And maybe other people can't do that for you. Or maybe they're going through their own things, you know. So this is about learning compromise in a very big way and finding balance in a very big way throughout our lives. I'll take a couple last questions. Helena asks, if we don't get to where we need to be by the end of summer, will we be stuck in that place situation? Saturn entering Cap. I feel this is the nervous energy of the week. I always, you know, I don't want you to be ever nervous or fearful of astrology, Helena, number one, because, you know, it's nothing to be afraid of, or especially transits. Don't ever be afraid of them. And you know, what I've always noticed about astrology is when the event actually happens, we're a little bit more fearful of what actually it entails. It never is as scary as we think it is. The end of this summer, there's a lot of doors still to open. we come into the fall. And I think the fall is the most flexible time for people to make a lot of adjustments. Sure, I do believe that once Saturn enters Capricorn in December of 2017, I think, yes, there's a lot more, I've been using the term concrete, that is going to set a lot of things in stone, and it's going to be a little bit less flexible in life, especially with Saturn leaving this space. It is. But you got to remember that Saturn will be sextiling Neptune in Pisces beyond that point. So there will be some sort of flexibility with spirit, with angels, with guides, with spirituality, with learning to go with the flow but still stay on a path. It's kind of like a ship out at sea that still has its path but knows it can't take that direct path usually. There's got to be twists and turns along the way. I think that what it means is that the energy is so hot and so intense, and there's not going to be this much fire until 2019 when Jupiter is in Sagittarius in a grand trine in August of 2019. There's a very powerful another fire trine happening. But the one that comes up this summer is the bigger one because it's with a solar eclipse. So this one's just, fire isn't physical. It's not as far as in reality. It's much more ethereal. It's much more got a spiritual, it sets the tone for things. It sets the that's why I'm calling my July horoscope the catalyst of manifesting your dreams. What sets things in motion spiritually. And so it's important for you to set yourself in the right direction emotionally and with the fire spiritually, so it will turn where you want to manifest things by that time. So it's more about really defining what you want, what you love, what your heart really wants, what you don't want. Leo and Aquarius, where the nodes are right now, is about saying what you want and what you don't want. It's very clear. Same thing with Taurus and Scorpio, which we're about to have Jupiter and Scorpio. And we're about to have, there's all these energy entering the fixed signs coming up here this fall. And it's really about appetite. Like, do you like beef stew or do you like waffles? I don't know. They're so opposite, but yet at the same time, which one do you like more? It's kind of like choosing that road, and that's the direction that you go in. Now, I like both. So it's the people that have this Jupiter in Libra and a lot of Libra stuff and a lot of, maybe non-first house issues stuff. They're having troubles deciphering, it's hard to pick a road. It's hard to pick which one you want in your life. And that's what Saturn's going to ask at the end of the year is, hey, let's pick two and we'll make the most out of it. We'll make the best call. We'll go farther if we pick one. Opposed to spending our time making waffles and beef stew. We only have a certain amount of burners in life. We only have a big enough kitchen to do things. It's a lot harder to create a lot of things with a scattered amount of energy. And that's what Saturn does when it comes into Capricorn, is it consolidates. So it's nothing to be scared about. It's more something to be aware of, that you're not going to be so scattered all over the place in your life anymore with this there and that there and this here and I'm going here and I'm living in this city and I'm living over there and I'm doing this and I'm in this direction. It's going to be like, let's consolidate this down and make the most of it. So I hope that helps you. It's nothing to be scared of. I do got to roll though. Got a lot going on. Of course, Leo King Elite is, I'm not saying that we're full. I think right now we're at like 69 or 70 students and 150 is the cap. So we're already halfway there. So if you don't know what Leo King Elite is, Leo King Elite is the new school that I'm doing. And it's more than just a school. It's also teaching you how to build a lifestyle business, how to make the most of spirituality if you want to be a light worker in this world, and how to actually not only become the coach that you want to be, but make an impact on the world. There's 4 different tiers. There's a commercial for you to watch. And of course, we have payment plans. You can email, talk to Lauren. We have plans. We have ways to put deposits down. We have ultimate stuff. It's very simple. Watch the testimonials about everything there and look at the different tiers. LeoKingElite.com. Find your lights. Honestly, one of the greatest things I've ever come up with. Live video, private Facebook groups that we put you in. It's all going to be live. It's all going to be done in the studio like how I do this. And I'm going to teach astrology, teach spirituality, talk about other modalities, and teach you how to build your own business and your own financial independence as well. Thanks so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of the Leo King app. If you are one of the subscribers, that means the world to me. And Truly appreciate it. Anyway, I gotta run. I'll see you guys soon. Please spread this video around. I truly appreciate it. And I'll see you for the July horoscope on the webinar on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific. InclusiveAstrology.com. Take care.
The Leo King app is the world's first and leading video and notification astrology horoscope app for iPhone, Android, and computer. Get daily spiritual videos and addictingly accurate notifications alongside weekly sun sign horoscopes, tarot videos, and exciting new age entertainment videos by celebrity astrologer and TV personality David Palmer, the Leo King. Join today. You have nothing to lose with a 7-day free trial and wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.